I'll be the first to admit that I realize I've been stringing you guys along a little bit as far as the office build is going. Well, that's because not a whole lot has been going on. We finished a lot of the interior work, the HVAC, the electrical, we ran some Ethernet cables here and there. Basically, we've been at a little bit of a standstill because we've been waiting for spray foam insulation. Spray foam, if you guys are familiar with it, is very sensitive to temperatures. So it's been freezing and wet and snowy and everything for like 3 or 4 weeks. So we have not been able to insulate these walls. But today is the day, and we are extremely excited. My dad is cooking a roast for tomorrow just to simply celebrate the fact that we got this build insulated so we can stop running the furnace in a steel structure that has the R value of maybe 0.1, just throwing money away. So that'll be really nice. We can come in here, we can do some finish work, we'll be nice and warm and toasty. It'll just make things a whole lot smoother. They are going to do what is called a envelope insulation. So I'll show you close up. What I mean by envelope insulation is instead of just putting a ceiling right here and laying down bat, or right on top of it or whatever, they're going to actually blow the ceiling up there, right behind the vapor barrier. So something like that, sound effects are very important. Who are you guys?
I'm Mike. This is Dan. All Pro Insulation.
All Pro Insulation. These are the two owners?
Yes.
What do you guys do?
We do everything.
Oh, yeah?
Everything from the woodwork to the bidding, to the spraying the foam, to the maintenance. We do it all.
So you specialize in spray foam?
Yeah, spray foam insulation. Both pros own them. So,
how long have you guys been doing it?
since 2017. So, going on 5 years.
Can you explain a little bit of this project? What's going on here?
Yeah, this project, we're basically doing a complete envelope for the whole project. The upstairs offices have, on the bottom of the roof deck, has open cell foam, 6 inches of open cell foam. We're doing 5 inches of open cell foam on the walls. So we basically have a complete envelope for the whole building. We did the roof deck, that way that'll all be, that attic will be all conditioned space, semi-conditioned space. It won't be, you won't have the super hot temperatures in the summertime or the super cold temperatures in the wintertime. It'll be more of a, conditioned space.
And so you're the main sprayer?
Yeah, I do most of the spraying.
No, Dan isn't even dirty. What does he do?
he's my cleanup partner today.
Gotcha, cool. So you guys have your van, well, not your van, sorry, your trailer and truck parked outside?
Yep.
And in there is where the chemicals are mixed.
Yep.
It's going through its initial heating.
That's where the chemicals are stored. They don't mix until they get that little.
My apologies. Yeah, they don't mix till the end of the nozzle.
The end of the gun.
Can you show me the gun?
Sure. If they mix before that, we have serious trouble. All right, cool. So yeah, that's
so what are we looking at here?
That's the gun. It's basically your ISO's coming in this side, your resin's coming in this side, and then you can hear the air coming out of the end. Okay. This is an air hose here.
So slow down. Take it back one step. So you're mixing together 2 compounds.
Yep.
Okay, and that is an ISO and a resin?
An ISO and a resin.
And you try to keep those at a 1-to-1 ratio?
Exactly, a 1-to-1 ratio.
Cool.
Yep.
Awesome.
Yep. If you have something other than a 1-to-1 ratio, you'll get the foam, it'll be off. It will never cure. If it happens, but if it does, you just have to notice it quickly and find out where the problem's at. And so and then tear the foam out that you spread.
This is insulated here because you're keeping temperature coming into the building?
Well, yeah, there's we heat both materials for the proportioner, and then also the hose is heated also. Okay. So this entire hose is heated right down to the wick. It's even a heated wick. Awesome.
So when you're spraying, what are you paying attention to?
Basically voids. You don't want to have any voids. Making sure you've got good rise. Making sure you don't have a mix. Too much ISO, too much resin. Gotcha. If you have too much ISO, it's crunchy foam. If too much ISO, or resin. It's marshmallowy foam. So you definitely want to look for that.
What's the hardest part about this job?
Hardest part about this job?
Working with Dan?
No, he's easy to work with. The hardest part I'm going to say is our growing pains.
Yeah.
Like a few years ago, just trying to learn the ins and outs of the foam. So there's like this is a nice job. There's times we're crawling around in tight attics. There's times we're crawling around in crawl spaces.
Sure.
I'm a little grumpier on those days.
I got you. Yeah. Do you have any horror stories you want to share?
No, I don't want to share.
Don't want to share them.
I've got them, but
So
I don't
every
share
job just goes smooth?
No, they don't.
Okay,
No.
cool. Awesome. Well, film me a little bit.
If it was easy, everybody'd be doing it.
All right, we have Dan, one of the owners of All Pro Insulation, or just All Pro?
All Pro.
All Pro here, and he's going to explain what's going on.
So JB had contacted us to insulate it. Our recommendation was 5 inches open cell foam in the walls and 6 inches in the ceiling to make a total conditioned space area up here to improve his insulation value and heating and cooling of the building.
And so what is the benefit of the envelope insulation as opposed to just spread above the ceiling?
We're stopping the heat, the exterior heat from the sun, and the coldness in the wintertime, and we're blocking it right there.
What's your job?
Well, I manage most of the maintenance. I do spray when we get up in the attics and things like that. So.
Yep. All right. Well, right now you're just facilitating him with making sure his hose doesn't stay tangled and his scaffolding and whatever else he needs.
Exactly.
Okay. And tell me a little bit about your setup outside.
Well, outside, our chemical comes in 2 drums called an ISO and a resin.
Okay.
And then it goes into a machine where it mixes through. There's 2 separate lines. The foam is never made until it gets into the tip of the gun.
Okay.
Right before it exits the gun. So, and then it's a hydraulic proportioner in there that pushes the material to the end of the gun.
Gotcha. So that's all running out of your trailer.
Yep.
Is that heated or anything? Do you have to keep that?
We have to keep that heated. We'd like to keep the chemical in around 80 to 90 degrees.
Oh, okay. Wow.
And then when it goes into the proportioner at 80 to 90, it's leaving it at 141 degrees right now.
Okay.
And then while it does its exothermic reaction in the wall, the center of that foam could be as much as 225 degrees.
Holy cow.
Yeah.
But you're telling me it'll be cured by tomorrow morning, no problem?
It'll be cured within 15 minutes of spraying it.
Wow.
You will have a little off-gas odor for about 8 hours.
Okay.
But after that...
So, it almost looks like he's painting over there. Does he have only a couple seconds to keep his wet line going, or
it's about what you want to do when you spray foam is get that wet line, and what we call it in the industry is riding the wave.
Riding the wave. Okay.
So you just keep that wet line going, and that material will keep expanding.
Gotcha. Sweet. Dan, before the haters get all over us, I mean, should you reasonably have a mask on, or are you okay?
Yes, I should.
You should have one on, okay. So you're gonna go put one on now?
I'm gonna get one now.
They got their whole setup out here. They have their self-contained generator in that trailer, so I'm pretty sure you're not going to be able to hear what they're saying. But they ran out of, I believe, the resin, and they're going to flip over a batch. There's too many cooks in the kitchen. Basically, they have their generator and their powered blower up in the front here. And then they have all the resin and the 2 chemicals and the computer monitor and everything back here. And there just wasn't enough room for me back there. Yes, I did eventually put a mask on because I was lingering up here longer than just a couple minutes at a time. I was being the annoying overlooker just because it's exciting to see this get done. You know, it's a new office build for the whole farm, so it's just very exciting to see happen. So while they're changing the resin, let's look at some of the work they're doing. It appears very good to me, to the untrained eye. I mean, they quoted us a thickness they'd put it on, and they're definitely adhering to that. It looks good. He's broken open the foam a couple times and showed me that the The cell structure is good to go, even though it is a little bit cold outside. So everything seems good. There's no overly pungent, terrible smell or anything. He's occasionally sawing back to get behind the studs when it puffs out a little bit. Job well done. The spray foam guys decided they wanted to order pizza, so I'm gonna go pick up their pizza and I'll get back to this project. They've secured the goods. Philly cheesesteak pizza from Samoski's. Probably one of the best pizzas around, I would say. What do you think, Sammy?
It's about to go down.
It is about to go down.
It's about to puff up.
They've been going at it for probably not even quite an hour now, so we're interrupting their workflow.
It was lunchtime though.
We mentioned we were going to get them on video.
Going down.
It is going down. All right, Dan, what's going through your head now?
What's going through my head right now?
Yeah.
I'm just watching Mike spray, checking the rise of the foam, make sure everything's looking good.
So that's what you're kind of double checking his quality per se,
Per se, yeah.
and you're
yeah.
guiding the hose around and
Yeah,
making sure the machine's running well.
make the job go smoother,
Okay.
faster.
Now, is this your guys' full-time gig?
No, I have a full-time gig.
Yeah. Would you like it to be?
Sure.
Yeah.
I mean, if it got big enough, we could stay busy enough, yeah.
Cool.
I mean, that was the whole purpose of it.
So what made you get into spray foaming?
We had a project at the township where I work at. We built a 64 by 104 new maintenance facility, and we added spray foam there.
Yeah.
And just talking with the guy that was doing it got me interested in it. I mean, I think it's a neat process. I think it's the way of the future for insulation of houses.
The upstairs insulated on a different day, and we have the furnace shut off, and the temperature just doesn't drop. It's pretty miraculous what it does. We're kind of cheapskates, and we went with the open cell. Could you give me a quick rundown of the difference between open and closed?
Yeah, I mean, when you break the foam open, this open cell, it's really soft.
Okay.
And it really adds no structural strength other than insulation purposes
Okay.
for the building. Now with the closed cell, it would actually strengthen the building up.
Okay.
And it's actually recommended down in hurricane states now
Oh.
when they build new houses
Okay.
to use the closed cell foam to add structural strength for the high winds.
So you're spraying about 5 inches on the walls. If going apples to apples closed cell, would that only be like 2 inches of closed cell? Or
Yeah,
for a
we'd
comparison?
go like 2.5 to 3.
Okay, and
on
that
the
would give
walls.
you a comparable package?
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha. And what's roughly the cost difference in that? Is it 30% more?
It's about 35 to 40% more.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Right on. I'll go ahead and I'll scan the job afterwards,
Okay.
see if people like it. But if they do like what they see, how can they get a hold of you?
They can reach us on Facebook. We have a page, All Pro Insulation on Facebook.
Okay.
Phone numbers there, things like that. My personal number is 440-315-4772.
Cool. No calling after 9 or what?
6.
How about 6? All right, cool. Sounds good. Thank you, Dan.
Thank you.
So we're back at it on day 2, and we agreed to help the main spray man today because Dan has to get ready for snowpocalypse for the township he works for. So I am wearing my mask today and getting a little bit more into the action. Farmy Insider going spray insider. What are we doing today, Sammy?
We are doing spray foam insulation, barn building.
Yep.
And we're pretty new at this, but we're doing it.
We're doing it. So we're cleanup crew, huh?
That's right.
Clean up, and we have to facilitate proper movement of the hose and scaffolding. Sounds like something we can handle.
I hope so. Want to get a big chunk, but he's doing such a good job, there's not much to cut off.
Yeah, he's got pretty good control. There it is. That's exactly what we want. See, this is called riding the wave. It just keeps that gradual foam cloud pushing up.
load up some hay.
All right, buddy. Good
Yeah,
luck.
the apprenticeship.
We have a semi heading down from Cleveland. He's about 40 minutes away. He is going to try to traverse this weather. Well, actually, he's going to try to get out of here before the snowpocalypse that's coming in at like 8 p.m. And he's going to try to get to South Carolina. So he will be here in about 40 minutes. Me and Justin are going to go load him up. Sammy is now the sole provider of additional support to our spray man. We get to break up the monotony of spray foaming a little bit and load a semi up. We have been preparing for Snowmageddon, Snowpocalypse, whatever you want to call it, for a while. So it wasn't supposed, 2 or 3 days ago, it wasn't supposed to be rain. It was supposed to be sleet and iced over, black ice and snow and everything. So we just got this load ready inside here. And it's still a good thing that we did that because it's raining currently. And we're gonna have the trucker back up into this as far as he can, get straight, pull himself out so he's just on the lip here. So we have traction on this concrete pushing into his truck.
So this shouldn't be too bad of a maneuver for a guy that drives for a living.
Think you could back in here?
I can handle it.
Easy.
First on deck
Is 12 large squares, third cutting alfalfa orchard grass mix. And then we have, I think, 12 bundles of an orchard alfalfa in bundles, so small squares, and then some first cutting going out. So it's a bit of a blend load.
That was a tight squeeze, buddy.
Can't even see.
I know. Your forks or anything.
I'm gonna be a lot better co-worker and actually spot them, so I'm just gonna set up our little camera. I guess the one part I didn't think about is you can't really pull the telehandler out now, so and just park it back there and hopefully it's not in the way. We have opened this barn up quite a bit, but then I keep buying more hay and everything, so it doesn't seem like it's opening up. But realistically, all that till 2 layers in front of the telehandler would be gone if we weren't trying to be ambitious or whatever. Might be able to actually pull some equipment in here for once.
I just never feel right this thing.
With that grapple?
No, the seat.
Oh, the seat?
For some reason, I feel like I'm in like a machine I've never been in before.
Well, Sammy moved the seat on me and I fell out of place.
Did you?
Now Justin is leaving us for a whole month. He takes a whole month of vacation. So, first it was Sammy, then it's Justin, Carl's retired, Robbie's injured. Me and my dad are just holding down the fort. How do we do, vacation man?
Did good.
You did a pretty good job.
Yeah.
His load got canceled down south.
Oh,
They
yeah?
called and said they can't take it till Monday because they're worried about the weather.
Really?
So he's gonna sleep. He's gonna sleep right there for a little bit.
Oh, in the driveway?
And then he's gonna go home and go down Sunday night.
Oh, okay. He just doesn't want to go home now?
He wants to take like a 2-hour nap.
Oh.
I think he's been hitting it. Is this your favorite part of the job, the end?
You bet. Well, I always say when the generator shuts off, it's the best sound of the day. It's the best sound of the day.
I always like jobs like this when there's a very clear finish point.
Yeah.
Like you're not, like finish work, you're like, could I fix that seam or this? When the cavity's full, it's full.
Yep.
You know? Have you ever You ever sprayed on a wall that was wet? What does the foam do? It just
doesn't here, it just rolls off.
rolls right
Yeah.
off.
And actually, where you're doing closed cell, you ruin the foam.
You just ruin it?
Yeah. Because anytime you get any water in the resin side of a closed cell foam, it's totally ruined.
Done.
We checked, I heard you talk about moisture. We also checked like the 2x4s. We have a moisture meter that probes into that.
Yep.
Like these are at 7.1 to 7.3.
And that's
We checked
within
them.
tolerance?
Yeah, as long as it's under 18, you're good.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yep, yep, so it's well within tolerance.
Nice.
I didn't know you wanted to see the last second.
Of course I want to see the finished product. That's the last stroke that matters.
Right.
You never get paid if you don't do the last one.
That's right, that's true.
All right, Mike, how did this job go?
Went really good. We had a couple hiccups.
Yeah.
The first day we were here, we had some heater problems.
Yeah.
But we fought through them and got that done. But other than that, everything went really well. We had a snowstorm in between, so we took a couple days off from that. We could have probably sprayed that day, but it's just more of a pain. It's almost better just to keep the truck in the shop and
I agree.
And you know, tackle it on another day.
So the heat of the product doesn't so much impact the quality of the job, right? You just use more material, so it digs into your margins, or how does that work?
Yeah, a little bit, but also the foam reacts better when it's warmer out.
Okay.
So you get better yield, but it also the foam is fine. And plus they make, like when we're spraying closed cell, they make winter blends.
Okay.
So you can spray it. They say they spray it clear down to negative temperatures.
Holy cow.
Like on the Alaskan pipeline.
Yeah. I wouldn't want to be spraying.
We
in that. Yeah.
we don't do that. If it's that cold, we stay in the barn.
Gotcha. Let me get you smiling in front of your product here. That's awesome.
There you go.
Looks good. People are probably going to get online and Google, spray foam insulators in their area. Why would they choose you? What sets you apart?
One of the biggest things is you have the owner on the job. The owner's on the job, every single job. We don't have a crew, so we're doing the work ourselves, so we make sure it's done right. We take pride in our work. If it's not right, we fix it. Another thing that we really take pride in is masking things off, putting a tarp where we're spraying, masking the windows and the doors off so you don't get the overspray. Unfortunately, it does happen from time to time, but we do everything we can to keep from making those messes. That's really, I think we're price-wise, I think we're competitive. I like to say we're in the middle. We're not the high guy, but we're also not the low guy. So you get a good quality for your dollar.
There you go. Yeah.
So.
You can't be the low guy. You can't go to Taco Bell and get a steak dinner.
That's right. That's right.
Dan, what sets you guys apart from your competitors? Why should someone choose you and not XYZ spray man?
Feel we give an honest product for an honest day's work.
Cool.